Hey everyone, it's spring 2020, it's Corona time in Europe and it seems like the virus has brought the entire world to a halt. So I'm sitting here at home not being able to work, starting to get a bit bored. So I thought to myself, well, this might be the perfect time to start a YouTube channel. I'll tell you all about that in just a few seconds. So, welcome to this video. This is supposed to be sort of an introduction to this channel, to who I am, to what I'm doing, to the kind of content I want to show here. And I guess the channel name already says quite a lot. I'm a pilot, I'm from Switzerland. My name is Simon, I'm 30 years old. I live close to Zurich, that's Switzerland's largest city. Now, usually I work as an airline pilot for Switzerland's largest airline company. I'm based here in Zurich and I fly as a first officer on Boeing 777s to all kinds of places around the world. It's all a bit different these days due to the virus now, obviously. I started flying when I was only 16 years old, so if you think that I look very young for being a pilot, believe me, I looked a lot younger then. I'll show you a picture of my first flying lesson here. I got my private pilot license for flying small propeller aircraft at the age of 17. That was before I was even allowed to drive a car. Then I flew in General Aviation for a little while until after school I could finally start the training for being an airline pilot. Now I've got a total of somewhat north of 4,000 flying hours, mainly on Airbus A320s and now on the Boeing 777s. Now the reason I started this channel is that despite the fact that I love my job in the airline industry, I'm still really passionate about general aviation and I still actively fly GA aircraft. It's mostly Cessna 172s here in Europe, but also in the United States during my work stays in North America. Now I know there's a lot of great YouTubers in the GA segment out there publishing some great content already. I'm a huge fan of Matt Guthmiller's channel, for example. He's a young pilot from the United States. He was once the youngest person ever to circle the world in a small propeller aircraft. He's been doing that solo and he's been doing some great flying adventures in his Bonanza. I enjoy watching his videos. Then there is Stef from FlightChops. He's been an absolute hero to me as well with a great content he's been publishing for years. With his approaches going a bit more in an educational direction. I can absolutely recommend you to check out his channel as well. And there is Stef Drury from Australia. He recently bought a Cirrus SR22, which he's planning at least to be taking that around the world as well. So these are sort of my three favorite YouTube GA channels, I'd say. Make sure to check them out. I'll link them here or in the description below. Now you might be asking if the world really needs another flying YouTuber with all the great guys out there already. I guess maybe not, and I'll never be anywhere near as good as these guys that I just mentioned. But still, what I do think is that the European general aviation community is generally a bit, I'd say, underrepresented here on YouTube. And that's sad, especially because flying in Europe has a lot to offer. We have such a great variety of landscapes here in Europe, many interesting countries, cultures, many languages, and actually some great airplane manufacturers as well in the GA market. If you think of a Diamond aircraft from Austria, Pilatus, who is here sitting here in Switzerland, and so on. But unfortunately, all this variety has its downsides as well. I mentioned languages. You might have heard that my English is far from perfect. Unfortunately, my native language is German. I still decided to try to do these videos in English in order to reach out to a bigger part of the pilots and aviation fans around Europe and obviously the rest of the world as well, instead of just the German-speaking community. Then another point is that we have many different countries and therefore many different national regulations. So flying cross-country and crossing borders does definitely impose some challenges from time to time, especially of course when flying VFR. So sooner or later I'll try to do a little video series to show the specialties and specific countries on the flight preparation, the planning, rules and regulations, ATC and all that kind of stuff. And of course also take you along on some flying adventures that I'm planning to do myself. Also be doing some product reviews and testing of stuff that might be interesting for the European GA pilot reviewing some of the common planning and navigation apps for Europe. And maybe one day I might even check out and test fly some European aircraft. That would be absolutely awesome as well, of course. Now, as this is supposed to be an introduction to this channel only, I want to try to keep it nice and short. If you happen to like the idea behind this channel, I'd be glad if you'd be following along. In this case, just make sure to hit the little subscribe button and the little bell next to it, so you'll be notified when there's a new video out. Let me as well know in the comment section down below for any ideas what to post, what kind of videos you'd like to see here, and I'll try to implement as many of these ideas as I possibly can. For now though, that's it. You all be safe out there, and see you in the next video.